Welcome back to the channel. This week we're spending our entire time with this 2024 Honda Civic Type R, and it is one of the nicest looking things that I have seen come from Honda in a long time. Like, I did like the previous generation. I found it very aggressive. This one's got still the aggressive body lines. They're just a little bit more smoothed out. Everything looks a little bit more seamless, if you will. If we come on over to the back here, you can see we've got the triple exhaust right in the center, and we've got a very nice rear wing. Stands out. You could have a meal on this thing if you want. Really cool. The back gets really dirty. It is kind of like this off-white color, so any type of dirt or stuff that I drive through is going to be difficult. I like the red Honda badge, the Type R logo right there. Really nice. I really like the big hips on it. Like, you can kind of see it right here as we kind of pan right there. Also, you can see we got a vent right over here as well. I really like it. Brembo red painted brakes. We like that too. And let me show you the trunk, because I do like the fact that this is like more of a hatchback. So we've got plenty of space. Like, so me, I have a stroller. My stroller is going to fit in here no problem. We've also got this nice little privacy guy that's going to slide right across, which I do enjoy as well. So you can kind of have some stuff hidden, and I can close it like this, and then you can't see. So let's hop in. I'm going to mount the GoPro up, and I'm going to take you through this thing. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be really fun. All right, so on the road now, 2024 Civic Type R. Oh man, you know what? You don't understand how cool these things are until you actually get behind the wheel of them. They are intense. It is really fun to drive these things around. It's like, it's got rev match downshifting, so my beginner manual self is very happy. I don't have to blip my throttle, but it's right on point every time. Sounds really good too. We do have some pumped in audio, unfortunately. Let me put it into R plus mode though and show you this thing. Oh my god. Oh my god, the acceleration on this thing. And I was slipping all the way down that road there. Oh boy, slipping and bouncing around. And you just feel all of it through the steering wheel. And I really like how they've done this. This thing though, like going through corners like this one, you could just send it. Absolutely send it. It drives almost like an all-wheel drive car. It's phenomenal the way that they've tuned the handling on this thing. There's like no body roll, nothing. It's just straight up turn in and like fast out. It's so really, oh my god, they've just dialed this to the nines. Really well done. It doesn't have like, I mean, over 300 horsepower is incredible for a sedan, and honestly, it's all you need, right? Like, you know what? I really did like the Hyundai Elantra, and I still do. I think it's the affordable one to go with. But I think if you have enough money and you want the Civic Type R, you will not be disappointed by the way that this thing drives. Holy moly. It is so tuned in, so well dialed. The engineers have done such a great job. What a good product just on the driving side. Hyundai's maybe has them beat with some, interior features, because, we don't have heated seats and heated steering. I know it is a sports car, but in Canada, and as somebody who might buy one of these things, or somebody who's in the market potentially for this thing, not having heated seats or heated steering in this price point does hurt a little bit. But if you can survive the winter with this front-wheel drive beast and not have cold hands or anything, oh boy, it's going to be worth it in the summer, because this thing performs. It's just so cool. I love the red seats, as you can see behind me, and the seats are really comfortable. You would expect them to not have a lot of bolstering, or like you would expect them to be very uncomfortable, but actually it's the contrary. They're really comfortable, especially near the lower areas, like where your legs are going to be. It's a very plush kind of feeling, and you just kind of sink in very nicely. So whether you're on the track or you're just on the public roads like I am, you're going to have like a really comfortable experience. And I'm in plus R mode, right? So everything's dialed to 100. But I can go back into individual, where my suspension is a little bit more in comfort mode. You're still going to get tossed and bounced around. Like, that doesn't fix the problem completely. Not that it is a problem though, because in a car like this, you kind of want to feel the road a little bit. You're expecting to feel the road a little bit, and I am absolutely all here for it. I love to feel the road. So look at this, downshift to third. Ooh, it's just smooth. Smoothness is crazy. I don't even have to if I was rev match downshifting myself, you would have felt a little weird thing like that, but nope, not in this Civic Type R. We've got a rev match downshifting, and I am a happy camper. you can hear. I don't care. Pumped in audio, it's like a buzzing noise, but it sounds really good. It sounds classic Honda, classic performance Honda anyways, and I just am absolutely here for it. So yeah, our first impressions, this thing drives like a monster, and it also feels like it's going to have the space that I need for my family. Despite not having that middle seat, I still got enough space for everybody that would need to come in my car. I've got enough space for my baby stroller. So like all the boxes there in terms of the family-oriented, you know, performance sedan or hatchback, whichever one you call this thing, is right there. Like the boxes are checked. We're just missing the heated seats, heated steering. But if you could live without that, you've got a really good platform here. I like this. Oof, the transmission is really good, really easy to use. Oh man. Let's get to the rest of the week. I'm gonna show you the interior, exterior, every little thing that I can think of to show you. We're gonna show you as we go through the week here with the 2024 Honda Civic Type R. All right, so sitting inside now, the 2024 Honda Civic Type R. You can see it's got a ton of red inside of it, and I really like it. Some might say too much red. I say let there be red. Let's just get it. I love the color of the interior of this thing. So let me take you through it. I've kind of got a good understanding of it by this point. So let me show this thing off to you. So let's start with the steering wheel. Really nice red stitching. Red badge, Honda logo. Gotta love that. It's, you know, very unique to the Type R, so we do like that. I like how the steering wheel is also nice and thick. I feel like it's almost the same as the one on the SI, but this one just feels a bit more thicker, if you will, and I do like that. Maybe a D-cut would have been cool. Maybe for 2025, 26 Honda, you know, a little D-cut would be cool. I don't know. We've also got our lane centering assist, lane keeping assist, the cruise control as well is going to be there, and then we've got our controls for the media, stuff like that. You can also change kind of the different stuff in your digital gauge cluster here, which I'll show you in a second. Over here where I kind of rest my arm is this nice kind of Alcantara kind of nice soft material, really nice, really splits up the plastic, really gives it that premium feel, which I like. There is a little strip of ambient lighting right here, which is nice to see. I got a Bose sound system in here, so can't complain there. Parking sensors, which is good to have. No 360-degree camera here, but that's okay. I've got these kind of the cool vents that you're used to seeing on a lot of the Civics now, so that's nice. And then, yeah, so let me show you this digital gauge cluster. I can kind of choose what's on the left and right. I kind of have my media and then some of the fuel economy stuff. And this is when you are in the kind of the R theme, and you can, I'm in individual mode, but I can have my R theme up in individual mode whenever I want. I can change that however I want. So let me show you what some of these modes look like. So that's individual. Sport looks like this, kind of like reminds me a lot of the Integra Type S. That's kind of the same one that we saw. Same thing with Honda Civic Si, same thing there as well. And then we've got a comfort screen right here, kind of calms things down a little bit. But of course, my favorite one is the R Plus mode or the R Plus mode theme. Really like it. Shows you your gear, you know, your speed over on the right. Very cool. I like it a lot. Really, really good. And we also get the shift lights right up there as well, which is nice to have. Yeah, really can't complain. Then we'll move over, digital infotainment display. It's kind of the same one that you would see on the Civic Si, maybe a bit bigger. It's got also the same one that you're gonna see on the Integra Type S, so they share a lot of the same stuff, but still, we've got our built-in wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I've got some vehicle settings here. I can change my individual settings from here if I need to. So it's all really well laid out there. You can turn off your rev match downshifting if you wanna do that. You can do that from right here. You can see I have it on all the time because I like it. You can kind of set up your stuff there. We do got built-in navigation as well, trip computers, different things like that. And then we have the Honda Log R, so Log-er if you want. And then you can have your auto score data log. You can have a bunch of different kind of screens, displays, really cool stuff here in this kind of thing. If you're on the track, you kind of want to see all this data, which is really cool. So that's good for the Log R app. And yeah, other than that, it's very standard. It's very easy to use. There's some physical buttons. There's some, you know, touch buttons as well, or, you know, stuff that you can quick access with touch, which I don't mind at all. Very well done here. Pretty good, solid. And then we'll move down to the dual zone automatic climate control. This is where you're going to see I've got no heated seat button and no heated steering button. Even in Canada, we're not treated special for the Type R. We don't get any of that nice stuff. So, I mean, look, I can live without it because right now we're in summer. It's not that bad. I don't really care about ventilated seats. I don't know if it would hurt me in the winter. It feels like maybe it will. But these switches here feel really premium. Like, I really, really enjoy like the you know, when you turn them, it just feels so good in your hand. Really nice quality there. A bunch of physical buttons for our HVAC controls. USB, not USB-C, still for the Type R here, but no big deal. We've also got wireless charging pad right here, which we like, and then we've got kind of our gear selector. It's kind of like this teardrop metal thing. It is cold when it gets cold, and it's hot when it gets hot, because it's just straight metal, so you can kind of put something over it, get like one of those socks, or change it completely and probably solve your problem. I did tend to prefer the Integra Type S version of it. It was like leather with kind of like a metal thing on the top. But anyways, this still feels really good. Throws are really short here. I like it. We got our Plus R mode, which just throws this car into absolute demon mode. Then we got our drive mode selector, electronic parking brake, the brake hold button. I like this kind of like, you know, this metallic kind of center console here. Splits it up from the gray and the plastic over there. Then we've got two cup holders. You can see we've got the Civic serial number. I've got R00149. Very cool. And then we've again got this nice kind of touch material here for the other rest with a little bit of storage in there. And then check these seats out. Got Type R right up written there. You would think that these seats are really uncomfortable, but actually in terms of racing seats, it's one of the most comfortable racing seats I've ever sat in. Really, really cool. And then to go with it, you've got red seat belts. Can't go wrong there. We don't have a sunroof or anything like that, but honestly, it doesn't matter because this thing drives so well that sunroofs, heated seats, and heated steering kind of go out the window because this thing's an absolute bullet. Okay, back outside now with the 2024 Civic Type R. I want to know what you think about the white paint color with the blacked out rims. Just what do you think of the Type R spec in general? I, for one, really like it. I actually usually don't like white cars or black rims, but on this spec of the Civic Type R, I will take it because it really makes that rear wing stand out quite a bit. I do like the red painted rainbows. Like all the accents with just a white mixed with the black really will stand out when you get a white car like this. And I really just love this rear wing here. You can, you know, place your drink on it. You could probably eat off of it as well. It does collect a little bit of dirt and dust, which I have to clean off before we film the main review here on the channel, which I will do just this weekend because it's going to rain a bit and get more dirty, so I don't want to clean it too much just yet. But it just looks so good in this configuration. I love it. I love the red badges on it. I love the daytime running LEDs. I like kind of like the hood scoop right here, or like the hood intake, which is actually real. I like the big, you know, the big chin up front that actually takes in a lot of cooling as well. I like it all. I think it's really well done. Yeah, I actually prefer it a lot more than the, you know, the last generation. I think this one's a lot more clean, a lot more mature, and just still looks aggressive without being over aggressive, if that makes sense. But let me know what you think. All right, so sitting back inside the 2024 Honda Civic Type R, let's do some more driving. Let's do some little ripping around and stuff like that. Let me talk to you about it. I've now been able to spend, you know, almost half a week at this point with the car. So now I've kind of got a little bit more thoughts. I'm also a lot more used to the transmission, the clutch, and everything in between, so I can kind of talk to you about it a little bit more here. So let's give it a rip. From first gear. Oh my god, that's so fast. It's so unbelievably fast, and the sense of speed you get from this vehicle is absolutely nuts. Like, and also I love the feedback that you get from the steering wheel. It's really good. It's not torque steer, it's actual feedback, and it's really rare, and I'm almost not used to it because most cars that are like aimed at being sports cars, the steering wheel, you don't feel that much feedback, but this you really do, and I am absolutely here for it. Like, I just love the road feel that I get through the steering wheel. I love the control that I feel. For a front wheel drive sports car that's a manual, this is a very solid place to start. Like, so the ride quality as well is probably something that people complain about. It is bouncy in every mode. I won't hide that from you. Obviously, when I put it into R or plus R mode, it's really bouncy. Like, it really throws you around. But when I've got it in my individual mode, where I've got everything else in, you know, sport mode or R plus mode, I have everything. I have the suspension in comfort mode, and that kind of helps the dampening just a little bit. I'm not getting as bumped around, but these seats do make a huge difference. They are really comfortable. They hold me really well in place, so that when I am getting a bunch of feedback from my steering wheel, I'm not sliding around with my steering wheel. So that's really good news too, and it's just such a solid little platform. I'm such a fan of it. I think it's so awesome that we get to experience this together. And also, rev match downshifting, I love it. It just downshifts and it's just instant and quick. And that's what you want, right? It makes the manual driving experience a whole lot better in traffic, a whole lot better, in stop go. Like I'm about to come up on like a bunch of stop signs here and stuff like that. It just makes it so easy. And I wish every manual came with that, because I think this is the key to getting people who are maybe a little bit intimidated by manual and all the things that it comes with into the manual market. And so I can never hate on a manual transmission. Also, the clutch pedal feels really good. I can feel my engagement point pretty well in pretty much every gear, especially in first gear. It's very easy to find, after a couple of like stop and goes, you kind of really do understand. And especially if you've driven manual before, you're really not going to have any trouble at all adjusting to this one. I'm coming from a manual transmission BRZ, which the pedal on that thing had a very short throw. It was really weird. So this is very nice to come back to. It's such a good pedal box. It's such a good kind of shifting feel as well with the shifter. Like the gears are very notchy. I know when I'm in the gear that I need. It's like I don't even need to look down, nothing. And I'm still, like I said, I still consider myself to be pretty much a beginner with a lot of stuff. So like I'm often like making sure I'm doing things right, but with this I know, because I have so much feeling from this vehicle, and I just think that's so important. So just to show you, I'm going to come up on some bumps probably soon here, so let me put it into the R plus mode. Everything increases to 10, and as you can see, I immediately start to get beat up by the Quebec roads. But man, the way this thing feels in just R plus mode, the way it feels in like the race mode is so cool. There's almost no body roll. Like I'm just sailing around stuff, sailing through corners, sailing through the fast bends. It's just such an experience to use this thing. And here we go, the bumpy roads, like I said. So I feel all of this. I mean, there's nothing. I'm sure the camera's even shaking around. Probably both cameras are flying around here. So yeah, you feel it, and I'm about to get on. Like, here we go, I'm just feeling it now. So yeah, if you were to go over some train tracks or something, you'd probably get your spine rearranged. But here we go, and then we're back on the smooth road. So at least we do have some coverage there. Now there is some pumped in audio, you can clearly hear it, but I actually enjoy it. I actually think it adds to the ambiance of the car. I think it adds to the personality of the car. The only thing that's missing is the actual noise from the exhaust. There is a slight tinge of something, like there is something there, it's definite, but it's not like, it doesn't crazy pop and bang, it doesn't, there's nothing crazy like that going on, but still, it's got a really decent noise to it, and I think that's really cool. And I've already seen a bunch of different modders and stuff like that on Instagram and things like that are really good at bringing exhaust noises out of the Type R with just slight tunes. I don't even think they're doing that much of them, and you're getting a lot of good sounding exhaust performance out of the Civic Type R. It's there. I think you just got to put in a little extra work to tap into it. So yeah, without making this little segment too long, I just kind of wanted to show you a couple of rips. That's a nice Corvette, and just kind of talk a little bit about what it's been like to drive it. Half a week at this point, and kind of drive it through the town. Show you some plus R mode. If I can show you more later on during the week, if I have some more twisty road stuff, I will definitely do that. It's probably going to rain though, so not really counting on it, but still, everything else that I find, I'm going to show you as we continue here, so stay tuned for more. Alright, so I already told you about the engine specs, but I want you to actually look at the engine because I have it open. I'm filming B-roll for it, so let me show you this too. This is a cool looking engine bay, really cool. A lot of manufacturers, they don't put any effort because they figure, the owners are just going to drive it, not look under it. But Honda knows you're going to look under it, and you need a Type R badge right there, front and center. I love the red here on the Honda. I love the carbon fiber here for the engine cover. Looks really clean, and you can see, yes sir, this is an actual usable vent, which I do enjoy to see. Look at this thing. I just love the layout of this thing. Look, I would just have this open at car shows and stuff if I ever went to car meets. I'm opening this thing up. And look at that big old air intake right there. Oh man, really cool stuff. But I'm just such a fan. I love the fact that there's a badge here. It feels special, feels one of a kind, and that's why you buy a Civic Type R. Good job, Honda. All right, back outside one final time. The 2024 Honda Civic SI, and man, am I gonna miss this thing. It's so cool to look at. I said it in like probably the last clip. I didn't like the aggressiveness of the, I guess, the FL4, but the FL5, the current generation Civic just looks so good. It's so much more mature. It's aggressive without being in your face, if that makes sense. Like, it's aggressive in all the right ways. Because look, I mean, you get like, check this out. So look in the front, I mean, it doesn't look crazy. There's not like a lot of bits and pieces to it, but it looks aggressive. Just from the front, it looks like it can go. The side, you kind of see the wide hips there. You see the usable vents. You see the Brembo brakes, the bigger tires. I love it, right? And then you get to the back, and arguably this is the most, you know, aggressive part with this big old wing, and I love the look of it. And then you pair it with this, right? Check this out. Got my stroller in here, and I've got room for absolute days, right? Like, it's just family practical, you know. Now the Elantra N could fit all this stuff too, but this can fit my stroller and then a little bit more. So for me, it's really important. And for me, I think if both are the same price, I think I'm going with the Civic Type R. Oh my God, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So unfortunately, let's put my GoPro up one last time. I'm gonna take you a rip on that highway, and yeah, we'll give you my final impressions. All right, so back on the road now. Final time, unfortunately. I hate it. Man, I love these red seat belts too. I think they're so cool. It kind of completes the red look. Like I said, I think I've said it before, you know, even in this video, like, people complain there's too much red. Absolutely not. When it comes to the Civic Type R, let there be red. Let it be unique. Let it be red carpets. You could have put the rear seat in all red, and I would have loved that too. Absolutely no problem. Like, just give it all to me. Give me all the red you can afford, okay? I like it. I like the look. It makes it unique. It makes it stand out from any other Civic on the market, interior and exterior wise. If the exterior is special, the interior's got to be special too. So I'm a fan of it all. And yeah, the red seatbelts just complete the look. Like, I really do like it. And yeah, this transmission has been so easy to live with, very forgiving. You know, I just do whatever I want to do, pretty much, or whatever. You know, if I think it's right, the Civic just adjusts so that it is right. You know, if I downshift too early, upshift too early, the Civic's like, no problem, I gotcha. And like, so I'm gonna put it into plus R mode here. Got my rev match on, everything's good, and I feel like a race car driver. And I have to hold because somebody's going slow on the highway, but that's fine. There we go. But it just holds the rev really well. Like, I'm able to control this car exactly how I need to, and I feel the road super well with this thing. Like, really, really well. I'm just so impressed with it. I think it's so good. Like, it is bouncy, right? And even in comfort mode, actually comfort mode helps quite a bit. Like, it is still like a very rigid and bouncy suspension, but comfort mode does kind of take the edge off a little bit. But I've honestly been driving it in the sport suspension mode all the time, just because I think that's the best mode. I think that's the best way to feel the car, feel the road. And in a car like this, you want to feel the road. You don't want things to be muted out when it looks like it. I want to feel everything. I want to know what the tires are doing. Even if I'm just on a straight highway like this, I want to feel absolutely every inch of this vehicle when it's driving. I want to know what it's thinking, what it's doing, and so that I can work with it. And it allows me to do that, and I think that's wonderful. So overall, it's a great transmission to live with. If you're a beginner, don't be afraid of it. Just get in and practice, practice, practice. The Civic Type R will work with you. Or if you're a bit afraid of it, get a Civic Si. The handling is still incredible. The control is still incredible. It's a little bit less power, but the transmission is still phenomenal on that one too. Honda have proved to me anyways that they know exactly what they're doing with manuals, and they're sticking to their guns with continuing to offer them, and I can't help but absolutely love them for it. So if you found this video helpful at all, insightful, if it gave you extra things that other people just don't, you gotta make sure you like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, because that's my only goal with these things. I just want to help you make your next car buying decision very easily, and you know, that's my only goal. I love this stuff, and I'm happy to do it. So thanks for putting me in this driver's seat. Thanks for trusting me. Thanks for trusting my opinion. With that being said, I will see you next week. See you in the next car. Take care.